After 1 year, the NWA is back. I'm John Rectum with my review of NWA Back for the Attack 2021. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Don't want to be too loud with the clapping, but this show is dedicated to the memory of Josephus, a.k.a. the question mark, a.k.a. Joseph Hudson. And many people talked about him, how much he meant behind the scenes and in front of the camera, and how they enjoyed working with him, how he was a great guy. And it was an emotional ending that I'll talk about when I get to it. But this was really good stuff. Aaron Stevens talks about, what he meant to him and how he helped revitalize his love of professional wrestling and how he realized he could still do this. He thought wrestling had been, left him behind, or he'd left wrestling behind. Just basically, Aaron Stevens was very emotional. And him and Nick Aldis do promos about the main event. And then I do have one question though about the song. When did Billy Corgan start doing disco? Why in the world was that song put on there? They literally could have just played White Noise. It would have sounded the goddamn same. Joe Galli and Tim Storm on commentary. I love Tim Storm. Natural Babyface has been great for this, rebrand of the NWA. And I love Joe Galli. Great sports-based feel that he gives to wrestling commentary. And they run down the card. Nick Aldis promo talks about setbacks being the setup for the comeback. And gets emotional about Joseph Hudson, who, again, clearly meant a lot to people. And then he cuts more of a promo talking about how the roster's going to work their asses off, and with the exception of one guy that shouldn't have been on the goddamn show, at least the roster did work hard. So we have Jax Dane, Slice Boogie, Jordan Clearwater, and Crimson in a four-way match. I've seen Jordan Clearwater on episodes of New Japan Strong. Slice Boogie pressed me in a couple of matches he's been in. Dane and Crimson are former tag team partners, and they did a lot of power moves here. Came down to Clearwater and Boogie got the victory after a spike pile driver. So, okay, that was fine. It wasn't a bad match. It was a fine opener. Nothing really stood out, but nothing offended me, so the match was just there. And Jordan Clearwater is very impressive as well. May Valentine interviews Sal Rinauro. I always screw that name up. I always think of Ronaldo, like Mauro Ronaldo. Sal and May had a storyline going back to when May and Royce Isaacs were together, and maybe still are. I mean, I have no idea. But, maybe they're going to bring Royce back. But, Sal was like her fan and wasn't actually trying to get with her, but Royce was, all, offended and everything. But maybe they're going to revisit that storyline. Then we get Kratos versus the Fox News Thesaurus, a.k.a. Tyrus. This was embarrassing. Not because of Kratos. Kratos has been good on New Japan Strong and Primetime Live. He is very good. He's a very good big man. Maybe not the most technically sound, at least as far as stuff I've seen, but he is skilled, he is strong, and he has a presence, and he deserved better than this. Tyrus is 48 and looked like he was at least 68 trying to wrestle. This was embarrassing. And besides the obvious, things of bringing a past their prime wrestler onto the show, okay, many promotions have done that. This guy's got open sexual assault allegations against him, and he's also a fucking crackpot. I mean, I'm sorry, you don't need that kind of shit on your show when you're trying to do a rebrand. So I hope the money they paid Tyrus was worth the money they lost by people that were like, okay, Tyrus is on the show, we're not going to order the pay-per-view. So I hope the NWA didn't take too much of a hit, because there were a couple Dynamite matches on this goddamn show. And no, I'm not talking about the AEW program. But yeah, this was embarrassing. Tyrus got the victory. Kratos deserves better, and please do not have Tyrus hang around way too long, because he doesn't look like he has, like he had any goddamn stamina. He doesn't look like he's wrestled in a decade. And he wrestled as recently as, 2017? I mean, granted, he was never that great in the ring anyway. He was, most famous for being the Funkasaurus. Funk is on a roll. And he was never that good. And now they think bringing a 48-year-old guy way past his prime is going to help boost business. Now, I didn't put butts in seats, because there was no crowd there, but this is embarrassing. And not because of Kratos. Tyrus should have not been in the goddamn ring. Kick him out and bring another big man in. You couldn't have contacted MLW. You couldn't have gone to the indie something. You couldn't have brought somebody in. He doesn't have that much name value. This ain't 2012, and he barely had name value then. It was fucking embarrassing. So, by the way, the Great American Smash shirt that Tyrus had, I wonder if there's going to be a cease and desist. And if you know, you know. May Valentine, she does some more interviews. And then we have the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro versus Thomas Vladimir. NWA TV title, 10:05 time limit, and says 6:05. And you know what? This wasn't bad. Now, the only thing I had a problem with was the finish. There was some good power from Thomas, from Vladimir, and then also some good stuff from Pope. But the time limit draw comes while they're hitting each other. Instead of hitting a big move and they're getting 1, 2, ding, ding, ding. They didn't do that. They just did it where they were hammering each other, and it was a bit of a flat finish, but it wasn't a bad match up until that point. That's my opinion. And then Aaron Stevens talks about, Joseph's kids, and just how he will win. Very emotional promo. That hopefully you can, his kids can look back on this and see what what their dad meant to him. Good shit. Really good shit. That's real. That cuts to the goddamn bone. Thunder Rosa versus Camille. #1 contenders match for the NWA Women's Championship. Serena Deeb's out with a knee injury, but I believe will be coming back soon. And man, this was a great match. It's just a shame they brought a guest commentator on, Taryn Terrell. Gee, I wonder if she had any more male wrestlers to assault. Drew McIntyre. Read up about, Taryn Terrell, a.k.a. Tiffany and Drew McIntyre. She hit him, he didn't hit her. And yeah, I don't care if she had a great goddamn feud with Gail Kim in 2013. She's a goddamn bitch for doing that. You don't do that to your partner regardless of what gender you are and what gender they are. You don't fucking do that. So, Camille dominates and trash talks Joe Galley. They're revisiting that. Thunder Rosa, got a nice armbar. She's very stompy, said Taryn. And I was losing brain cells while Taryn was trying to talk. She added nothing to this. This is the best person you can get for your rebrand to bring onto your women's roster. Was Melina unavailable? At least Melina has a name. Taryn Terrell hasn't done shit since 2013. At least anything good. Rosa comes back with some kicks and very hard chops. Very good. This is probably right up there with the main event as being the best match of the night. One of the best women's matches I've seen this year. They did some really, really good stuff. Lots of hard hits. Spear, no cover. And then a second spear, 1, 2, 3. So it took everything from Camille. And Thunder Rosa gave her a lot, but it took everything from Camille to keep Thunder Rosa down. 1, 2, 3. Really good stuff. Mae Valentine interviews Austin Idol. Was Austin Idol the only, territorial legend that would return their calls and that wasn't, I don't know, in a retirement home? I never got the appeal of Austin Idol. I just never did. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't have talent, but he's the best that they got. But the women, absolutely killing it. And then Austin Idol talks about, he helped Nick Aldis win the NWA World Championship, and that he was going to help Aaron Stevens win it. Trevor Murdoch versus Chris Adonis, NWA National Championship. Could Trevor survive the Master Lock? Yes, he could. He used some good wrestling. Adonis used his power, and then Murdoch got a roll up 1, 2, 3, and then Adonis attacks, full Nelson Slam, Master Lock, and then Austin Idol just wanders out to do commentary. They couldn't have waited a minute. Because you could just see in the background, he's just wandering out there. This match is okay. Nothing against Adonis, nothing against Murdoch. Match was there. Hey, everybody, an old man's talking. The instant I heard Austin Idol talk, that's what I thought. It's Grandpa Simpson talking and Millhouse Point, everybody. But you know what? I like Tim Storm, I like Joe Galley, and they picked up the slack for the fact that I don't think Austin Idol knew where the hell he was. 10-bell salute for those lost. Jim Crockett Jr., Josephus, I believe Butch Reed. I don't remember the first name that was mentioned, but if that was the case, still, rest in peace to all the NWA legends who passed away just in this last year alone. And then Aaron Stevens versus Nick Aldis, NWA title match. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Well worked. These two took it seriously. Aaron Stevens had a question mark mask and did some really, really good stuff. Aldis was a great heel. Obviously, this is tough for him. This is tough for both of them because of how much Joseph meant. And since Aldis had been there from the beginning with the NWA rebrand, he got to know Joseph even a little bit more. But still, you could tell how much it meant to Aaron Stevens. And they worked well together. Some very good near falls, some very good submission work. The elbow off the top, the discus elbow. We got, the clover leaf. We got a crossface from Stevens. We got really, really good action here. I encourage you guys to buy the replay and check this out. Check the women's match out. The rest of it's sort of a wash. Kratos and Tyrus, you could skip. And again, no disrespect to Kratos. But you get an arm track, we get a crossface, and then we get suddenly an inside cradle 1, 2, 3. Now, it was a war. They took it seriously. Despite the fact there were no people there, they treated this seriously. It was about 20-something minutes. Very good stuff. Stevens was very emotional. Aldis gets a handshake. They all come out. I want to say that was Joseph Hudson's wife that was holding the question mark mask. I don't know for certain since I don't know that much about the guy outside of, what I saw in the NWA program. But everybody's holding that. They were like, thank you, Joseph. Everybody's clapping and everything. And that's the end of that. So was it a good pay-per-view? There were 2 really good matches. A couple decent ones, and then, the Tyrus Kratos thing was just embarrassing because Tyrus should not be in a goddamn ring and should probably be, I don't know, not on television with all the shit that he did. You shouldn't do that to somebody, what the fuck. But in all honesty, I was more than happy to plunk down 20 bucks for this, and I will see about reviewing Power. Let me know if you want me to review Power weekly in the comments, please. Like, share, and subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.